Hey, I'm Alex. Welcome to another Daily Defiant. Today, we'll give you a status update on the FTX bankruptcy proceedings, in which the team tasked with returning value to FTX's creditors is making some headway. That and the fate of former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried on today's episode. Thanks to BitRefill for sponsoring this video. More on them later. At a recent congressional hearing, FTX's new CEO, John Ray, told lawmakers his team had recovered about $1 billion in creditor assets. This week, we got some detail as to what exactly they now have. The $1 billion FTX has unearthed is mostly fiat, $720 million in cash stored in hundreds of bank accounts, the company said in a court hearing on Tuesday. Mary Celia, FTX's new CFO, said they're reaching out to FTX's banks and changing the signatories on the accounts, quote, so that we can get access to the accounts and move the cash as much as we can. An additional $130 million in cash is held by Japanese institutions, she added, but Japanese regulators are earmarking those funds to repay local FTX customers. Now, we're noticing a trend here. It seems recovering fiat is easy, and crypto assets, well, maybe not so much. You might remember the liquidation of crypto hedge fund Three Arrows Capital. Three Arrows blew up this summer, and when a court-appointed liquidator took control, creditors filed claims for some $4 billion in assets they said they were owed. The liquidators claimed to have recovered some 600 tokens in varying undisclosed amounts, about 2,000 high-value NFTs, shares in companies which Three Arrows had invested, and $35 million in cash, according to court documents. The sum value of those recoveries is about $72 million, according to a recent news report, less than a tenth of the estimated assets the firm held in July, just after the liquidators took over. Of those assets, $37 million were in fiat, meaning most of the cold, hard cash is now in liquidators' control. Liquidators say the Three Arrows founders refused to cooperate, a charge the founders have repeatedly denied. Whatever the case, it looks like the folks now in charge of FTX have had a little more luck. However, FTX's new leadership is a different obstacle it must overcome. As we've mentioned before on this show, FTX's new CEO, John Ray, told lawmakers during that congressional hearing that FTX under Bankman-Fried had, quote, literally no record keeping whatsoever. As for Bankman-Fried, you'll recall he was arrested in the Bahamas last week at the request of US prosecutors, who threw the book at him, charging him on 8 counts, including fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. We'll talk about what's about to happen to him in a moment. But first, a word from our sponsor. These holidays, do your shopping without spreading your personal information. BitRefill.com allows you to spend your crypto on the best brands without banks. By applying the code Defiant on the checkout, you get 5% extra Bitcoin back, so a minimum of 6% in total. Back to SBF. Initial news reports said that Bankman-Fried would try to fight extradition to the United States. Well, it looks like he's given up that fight. Bankman-Fried signed surrender documents on Tuesday, Bloomberg reported, citing Bahamas Acting Commissioner of Corrections, Don Clear. After signing another set of papers, he'll be cleared for extradition. As it stands, a plane is scheduled to leave from a private airport tonight, carrying Bankman-Fried and agents from the FBI. There's been speculation Bankman-Fried changed his mind on extradition due to the notorious conditions at the Bahamian prison he's being held at, Fox Hill. According to Bloomberg, though, the more likely reason is that Bankman-Fried thinks he might be able to make bail once he's jailed in the US. That's all for today. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to The Defiant for more news just like this.